Today, we're joined by Thiag Loganathan, President and CEO of Cardinality.ai, a company on a mission to transform government services with AI driven solutions. After years of building enterprise tech for Fortune 50s, Thiag made a powerful pivot from optimizing for profit to building technology that serves people at scale. In this episode, we explore how Cardinality is helping governments leapfrog outdated systems using conversational AI, why implementation models must evolve alongside innovation, and how AI is unlocking new pathways for upskilling across the workforce. If you care about social impact, tech for good, or the future of public services, this episode is a must listen. I'm here with my new buddy, Thiag Loganathan. And I got to say, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you and really enjoy the conversation that we're about to have. And I just want to throw you this one out there. But what got you interested in the intersection of humanity and technology?
I mean, initially it was money, and then at the end of the day, uh, and the social media proliferance and how people have figured out the more you understand your clients, the more money you can make. We were doing work for Fortune 50 retailers and banks, helping them make money by increased and improved understanding of their clients, personalization, targeting, bundling, pricing. That's how we really got into this. And then 5 years ago, so my dad is I'm originally from India. My dad is a union guy. He's always spent his life helping others, most of his colleagues and union people and all that. And then I'm here in the States, a capitalist. When he passed and I was in his funeral, we had a bunch of his colleagues hold my hands and talk about what my dad's work meant for them and their life. That really changed. So from a technology for profit, I mean, we're still a for-profit company. We became a technology for good switch. So,
Well, and I love that. I think we share some vision here as far as like we want to be able to serve the people that we're working with. And I think that, capitalism for the sake of capitalism is there to protect capital and to grow capital. But the human element of it actually brings the reason why we show up in the morning. All the money in the world isn't going to change a thing if I don't love myself and love the people that I'm hanging around with. So all the power to you for switching up the business to make that happen. And I know your venture is Cardinality. Tell us a little bit about what Cardinality is doing to help people live their better lives.
um, and the being in a venture that has that mission helped it make a lot easier for me to make this switch. Cardinality, we help governments deliver services and assistance to constituents in an effective manner, leveraging data, AI, and technology. And this is such a current topic with Doge and all the chatter about government inefficiency and how things can get better. So we founded 7+ years ago with that mission. And in our opinion, it's not for lack of the want and desire by government administration and leaders. It is the lack of systems and how fast systems can be implemented to support the execution of policies and changes of it, right? And that was the opportunity. It aligned with our mission, and we've shaped both Cardinality business and my personal vision to be hand in hand. It's just a blessing for me to have this work and life to be just aligned at the stage of my career.
That's really exciting that like you're out here helping, and I have your LinkedIn up here right now as well. And like the first line in your bio is improve a billion lives, right? Like social impact at scale. And what are you seeing? You've been in business for the last 7 years, you said. And then additionally, like we're really hitting, the Gen AI revolution over the last 2 to 3 years. And I can tell you when I first saw GPT-3, before I was telling people like, look, automation and, artificial intelligence is really going to hit like self-driving cars. So trucking is going to get hit first. That's a huge population of people that will need to be reskilled. And then additionally, blue collar jobs would end up going to the ways of AI, automation, and robotics at that time. And then we come to GPT-3 and that flipped. Like it was immediately, seeing how white collar workers and the addition of bureaucracy were now within reach. How has your business adopted to like what we're seeing in the AI space and the developments that have come out over the last few years?
Anyone who's interacted with the government systems can say, and they are a generation or two behind than the banking system and retail and Uber and Amazon experiences that we're all used to in our day-to-day lives. So, I mean, forget the what Gen AI can do. Just being digital and connected and real-time information itself can significantly improve the effectiveness of service delivery. And before this current wave of Gen AI, really that was Cardinality's business, right? I mean, just bringing government systems to be digital and current. With Gen AI, the opportunity is superpowering government workers, wherein they don't have to, go through multiple steps. If you look at commercial systems or private sector systems, they've gone through multiple steps. For government, they can entirely skip the digital wave, if you will, right? You can literally get to conversational UX. Some of the stuff that workers want to achieve in collaboration with volunteers and constituents don't even have to be screens and documents anymore. They can be conversational. We are at the forefront of that opportunity. We're introducing those kind of features and capabilities, but still a long way to go before government can leverage data and technology for them to be efficient and effective. The current administration and DOGE is definitely brought it to forefront, and everyone's. I mean, it started during COVID when you had the need to perform digital actions with people being remote. Now this one's going to accelerate it to another level.
What's the North Star as far as like government efficiency goes? Like, is there a local jurisdiction that like is just kicking ass when it comes to it? Is there another country that is like really, setting the curve, or is there no hope?
No, there is hope. Estonia is the North Star. I think in our pre-show chat you brought up blockchain. So Estonia has used a combination of digital and blockchain for it to be the best government systems and efficiency and real time and trust while being secure. I mean, they're a relatively small company who made a conscious investment in technology to get there. So it's very doable. I mean, because of my Indian origin and connection, even India, for that matter, within the past decade, they brought more than 500 million people online. They brought more than 500 million people access to banks. So direct program to cash delivery into bank without intermediaries, reducing corruption, increasing transparency. I mean, it was possible because India literally skipped a few generations of telephone and technology, and then went to digital payments and digital connections. So it's very much possible. We've allowed for some bloat to get into our processes and planning, and maybe the current wave will help us think and achieve incremental improvements faster.
It is amazing the speed of innovation that can come about now. When we're talking about like organizations that are, hundreds of thousands of people, right? Like those ships don't turn very fast. And even from our own work, I don't think that the technology itself is going to be the limiting factor to the implementation. It's going to be how well we can create the conversational UX, how well we can actually onboard people into this new paradigm of non-deterministic systems. And are you seeing like what is the pushback that you're seeing in the implementation of Cardinality?
I wouldn't call it pushback. It is really we got to put ourselves in the shoes of the users, right? I mean, we got to be empathetic to what they've gone through, and instead of in IT, you would call it dumb the system down, but really it's got to be we got to change the paradigm. It's make the user aware of the possibilities, right? I mean, how do you include the users early on in the process for them to allow and participate in the design of the experience, and then influence the design, and with the advent of Gen AI, people don't need to be trained on 20 steps to do a process anymore. You don't have to remember things. I have to do step 1 through 20, not anymore, right? It's kind of a graphical multi-path workflow. You have to let humans supported by the machine navigate the system. System is an aid. It's not a complicated. So the previous gen systems were complicated and built with the specific path. Really, current gen systems are more open-ended and natural UX. You just have to help people unlearn the bad habits and the strict sequence of events into you have the information, you know what you need to do, just work man and machine together to get your outcomes. So it's more of a continuous engagement from the beginning, allowing to design and implement the experience because the tech is available. You're right, tech is available. The people who are implementing it needs to be empathetic and then need to be aware enough and collaborate with the users to make it happen.
What's something you're most excited for about this tech?
You've used the word game changer, sometimes overuse it. Uh, Again, disruption, another overused word. The excitement comes from specific examples of what's already happened. I gave you the example of India bringing more than 500 million people online, banking online. I mean, if you go to India, a street vendor will take $1 in digital payment, and they know enough to verify and use technology using mobile phones, right? So it's not impossible. It's so possible. And then every time we work with the users, caseworkers who are on the field, and then we show them what's possible. They're super excited. Um, I believe it's just a matter of time. The the consulting and technology vendor ecosystem needs to change our behavior. We have to stop trying to implement systems and methodologies from 2000s for the technologies available in 2025. We cannot do stuff from 2000s and 2010s for 2025 systems.
It's a very fair statement. And at the same time, I'm just thinking back. I started my my career with waterfall software development, and then
You stole the term out of my mouth, like continue. Maybe I
no, but
seen
it
it.
was
Yeah.
and what was funny is like within I think 6 months or so, I was immediately introduced to agile, and like I had the fortune of being trained by some of the people who signed the document, kind of thing, right? And one of the funniest things was I had a in my university, we had an SDLC course, and it was taught by a professor who was from Microsoft, and he walked us through like the waterfall methodology of how you develop it. But he gave us a project that was built on it was a Microsoft platform called Terrarium, and the Terrarium platform was basically you were breeding animals, and you were either a plant or herbivore or an omnivore, and you had to survive. So you had to basically figure out a way to live. And that is not a waterfall project because you don't know what you don't know until you get into the environment. And so building strategies for how we were actually like making these animals live and thrive was completely divorced from our SDLC like coursework. And it got to the point where we went to the professor and was like, this methodology, like we can't even adopt the methodology to this. Like we just have to iterate. And like, why update technical docs when we don't know what we're going to be doing, picking architecture or even picking requirements for what we got to do? So it's interesting to hear you say that. Like we got to use the 2025, but I also wonder what are the things that we're going to be pulling from the past, right? Like we went from mainframe computers to client server, and now in the world of AI, like we're talking data centers with tens of thousands of GPUs, right? Like we're kind of hitting another inflection point in which we are centralized to decentralized along those lines. What are you excited about for how we build in 2025 then?
But you actually, again, it's a nice continuation here. So there's the waterfall, there's the agile, and there's the documentation, screen development. Now Figmas, no one does screen development before use of like Figmas and UX design and all that. But then as part of our capability, because of the Gen AI, documentation is automatic now. Product documents itself. Okay, you don't have to create anything. Training is automatic. You don't have to train anybody. You just ask the product how you do certain things.
Exactly.
So we have to go. It's a combination of all the learnings we've had over the years, right? Whether it's waterfall or agile or some sort of hybrid methodology, but that needs to be updated with capabilities of today, right? Let's not. And internally, we say keep the main thing the main thing, not spending cycles on the document and what's in it and what's not in it, but how can you iterate on the system itself fast enough, right? Because documents are still not enough. Pictures are needed, Figmas, UX, they're needed, and you're iterating on it, and then use ways to confirm use cases coverage, right? I mean, that technology is available. You can take past instances of data. You can say this particular instance, an animal ate 5 times a day. Okay, if it's raining, it's only eating 3 times a day. So we have that in the past history. Uh, Now, do you worry about the rain scenario today? It's summer. Where we live in Sahara Desert, it only rains 5 times a year. Don't worry about it. So just having the understanding of data and coverage and completion and the main thing, and I actually find, and as we're looking to solve some of the things ourselves, creating an updated implementation model, I find that the IT systems, the vendor community, really has not been motivated to solve these problems, because the more work we do, we get paid by the hour. So we have allowed for it to proliferate, right? And so someone's got to come in and then like just change the way we implement systems that leverages the capabilities of 2025, which combines all the elements that I mentioned. How much time should we spend on training? We shouldn't, if we do UX design involving people in an iterative way continuously, and if the system can answer itself, if the system is intuitive enough. Don't have to spend time on training. Don't have to spend time on documentation. System should be able to document itself.
I think that's the end goal, right? Like in the early 2000s, we were always talking about the blackout data center, right? Like getting things so that you didn't even have to have people show up at. And now we're talking about app development in that way. And I think it's a good North Star to have. And will we actually get there?
I think it's imminent. I'm actually seeing, I believe uh, Cardinality, with some of our partners, we're on the verge of getting there 25, 26. Our challenge is that story is too good to be true. And we just have to overcome that. And we have to overcome that through few implementation examples that are leveraging modern capabilities. God.
Yeah, and I can see because like what we end up doing is we end up creating, workflows and automation, right? Or yeah, it's automation and workflows to agentic AI all on the same spectrum with like a tool set that kind of advances you down that path. But in our process of creating those automations and workflows, we're using artificial intelligence to help pull the requirements, to help to like generate the initial cases. And, our no code tool, we can import JSON. And so our AI understands like how to create the JSON for the application to at least get us the start. And so we are getting further down that path of that self-service type of approach to how can we create these workflows and automations. But at the same time, I think it's almost we're spending just as much time now on the tools to create the workflows as we did before on the workflows. But the value prop is that the next time that next time we get some similar workflow through, the agents are all able to take care of that one themselves. So we get the scaling factor on the second through fifth workflow that gets created.
It's maturity, right? So there is, I'm talking about, there's a level one maturity where I'm not talking about tools creating stuff. I'm just talking about really us being methodical about leveraging current capabilities to create things in an effective manner. As in, if we did historical data analysis, we can tell what are the variations and scenarios that's happened. And that can allow us to define the different workflows and variations and how many times that has happened. And that can feed into us in a much more effective manner, develop the application, right? So even humans doing it in an effective manner, aided by AI and modern tools, that we can get there today, 25, right? And as we do this with more and more, again, human machine partnership, you're training the AI itself about the historical instances of a specific system, now we can go a little more abstract for future variations and improvements of the system. So, in my opinion, there is a maturity level one that is possible now. That's just a combination of things that have been around, but just supercharged because of AI and the availability of it.
I love it, man. I think it's a really exciting future that you're painting here. And like, I love the work that you're doing at Cardinality and to help like I think we talked about vulnerable populations before, but just in general, any sort of efficiency that we can get in government is an added bonus. And especially when you're doing it in a way that is helpful to the people that are getting the government services, that's an A+ in my book. What is, for people who are, in their careers and seeing this world kind of like change around them, any recommendations that you have?
I would say upskilling. I mean, it's hard, but it is easier today with AI. You're not going to go replace hardcore techies. We all know technical or tech enabled career uh, can put you in a better spot when it comes to prosperity and self sustenance compared to some of the other career opportunities. Anyone who is interested in it, there's no better time. It is using AI as aid for you to learn faster, practice, and participate in tech or tech enabled professions, jobs. Um, and we have we even a couple days ago launched our trainer hire program. We have the first cohort is a few Uber drivers and a bartender, wherein we are helping them get familiar with SDLC and tech and how can they participate in this market. Yeah, and we're excited about the results. We we think almost all of them are going to get into internships soon and then jobs potentially soon after. And we'll share our learning to the community for others to leverage it. And whoever's interested can upskill and participate in tech and tech enabled jobs.
I love it, man. That is absolutely fantastic. And I just want to thank you so much for being on the show today and sharing your story with us.
Dan, super engaging conversation, amazing questions. Appreciate the opportunity.
No problem, my friend.